I've had this desk now for about 2 years, kicking around my apartment. Now I thought this would be a great time to take it out and refinish it. I started off using an orbital sander and quickly switched out to a belt sander to make fast work of this. After I had the bulk of the material removed, I switched over to the orbital sander to start smoothing it out. I'm applying some pre-stain to the top of this desk so that way it'll accept the stain more evenly when I apply it. I'm applying a walnut Danish oil. These are the legs I'm sanding. The rest of this desk is going to be painted, so I'm starting off here with 200 grit sandpaper, just smoothing off the surface, getting it prepped for a coat of paint. Here I'm taking off the drawer slides to the drawer box. This was put together using nails. I'm going to take it apart, make it easier for me to sand and paint, and then when I go to reassemble it, I'll be using screws, so I'll be putting pocket holes in this. Here I'm just putting pocket holes into the pieces. Remember to fill in any nail holes with some wood filler before you do the sanding. And now after everything is sanded, I'm out here now spraying on the fresh coat of paint to all the pieces. Here are all the pieces laid out to dry. Now it's time to assemble the desk. Here I'm screwing on the front of the desk with the opening for the drawer. Now the sides. Here I'm putting on the back piece, but it was a little premature. I had to remove it later to put on the other back piece for the drawer box assembly. These are the sides where the drawer slides will be attached.
So let me catch you. So let me catch you slipping by.
This is when I realized I had to take the back piece away so I can fit the brace going between the two sides for the rails in, because the pocket holes were in an inaccessible area for the drill. I decided to change out all the old hardware and go with new hardware to make this desk look nice. These are the brackets for the table legs to be attached. Here I'm covering the legs of the table to protect it. I finished this desk with a wipe-on polyurethane. I put about 4 coats, sanded in between each coat. Here I'm cutting the size to make a drawer for the desk. This desk didn't originally have a drawer for it. It had a pull-out for a keyboard, but it was broken, so I decided to change it up and put a drawer in this thing to make it look nice. Now I'm running a groove into the bottom of each of the side pieces, so that way the bottom can fit into the slot. Here I'm cutting everything to its final dimension. Now adding pocket holes. Now adding an edge banding to the edge of the plywood. Please don't tell my wife I'm using her good iron. Now I'm doing something different than what you see most people do. Most people use a tool to cut the excess of the edge banding off. Here I decided to use the sander to take off one side of it, really to flush up one side of it, and then on the other side I tried to use the weight of the sander to press over the wood and then let the sander just eat through the wood a little bit until it gets down to the glue, and then I pulled it apart and then laid it flat and sanded it flush. This ended up giving me better results than I did when I used the trimming tool. I decided to stain it after to try and match it up with the desk. Here I'm cutting the bottom for the drawer. Now I'm cutting a piece for the drawer front. I believe this is a rounded cove bit I'm using for the drawer front. I like to use clamps to line my pieces up when I'm screwing them together. This keeps them all in perfect alignment. Okay, mostly. Now to attach the drawer front and then the handle.
I need an angel after what you did, 'cause you were the devil, you messed with my head. You lied to my mother.
All that's left to do now is to put the drawer in.
You said that you'd be there, but this never ends. Don't wake me up, not in this century. Don't wake me up, 'cause you're just a ghost.
And thanks for watching.